Good morning, welcome. I think we've got everybody in the room, so we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Michael Graham. I'm the Chief Academic Officer here with the Anchorage School District, and it's my honor to be here as your Master of Ceremonies this morning. So to get things started and to begin, we'd ask that you all please rise for our national anthem. This will be performed by members of the Chugiak High School Choir, Nella Lundell, Svenna Lundell, and Katie Bazzone.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
All right, thank you, Nella, Svenna, and Katie. Also, thank you to David Legg and their choir director, Ron Lang. Again, welcome. Today's State of the Schools presentation by our superintendent is part of a larger day-long event known as the Administrative Advance that includes training and information for principals that's necessary to get our year started. And for the first time ever, this gathering of district leadership and school board members includes community leaders, business partners, our military from JBEAR, and members of the news media. We'd like to say thank you to all of you for taking the time to come here this morning. This beautiful morning out there. I know it's a good day to be here. And for taking interest in what is happening within the Anchorage School District and for your obvious commitment and support of public education in our community. Immediately following Superintendent Graff's State of the Schools address, there will be a reception outside in the Commons, right outside the theater, where those of you who are community members will have a chance to talk with school principals and other members of the district's leadership about questions you may have about the presentation, thoughts, and other things, and we'd really like to be able to foster those conversations. And now, to go ahead and get our morning started, would you please join me in welcoming our school board president, Mr. Eric Croft, to the stage.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. We, all of us, are here to meet a challenge we've placed on ourselves. We know the great things the Anchorage School District, its teachers and staff, do for our children. We could have simply talked about our successes. But instead, we've set high, ambitious goals for our schools in 6 different areas: proficiency, graduation, attendance, parent recommendation, safety, and efficiency. No law required us to do this. We know we are doing well, but we know we can do better. And we know one more thing: our schools cannot do it alone. Our children cannot learn if they come to school hungry, or without sleep, or don't come to school at all. The most brilliant teacher, the best curriculum, the most supportive administration and staff cannot get a student to full proficiency if they come to us too far behind. We need Anchorage, all of it, to be involved. We told our community that we were going to expect more, going to challenge ourselves and our students, and then we asked for their help. And as you all know by now, the Anchorage community responded in many different ways. Businesses responded. We now have over, and I just talked to Sherry Spink of the School Business Partnership, between 550 and 600 business partnerships, depending on how you count it, and probably about $3 million in impact to our schools each year. And the Chamber of Commerce is actively supporting the district in ways that it never has before. The nonprofit charitable community responded as well. In an effort spearheaded by the United Way, a broad group of local charities and churches are committed to helping the district meet its Destination 2020 goals. And individuals in our community responded. Faced with the dual threat of proposals to privatize public education and the impacts of continued flat funding on our schools, our communities, your neighbors, here in Anchorage and across the state, rose up. This year we saw an unprecedented wave of spontaneous public involvement. The public clearly told our elected officials that we wanted public money for public schools only, and that dangerous proposal to privatize our schools was withdrawn. In addition, enormous pressure was placed on our public officials, state and local, to increase funding for our schools for the first significant time in 3 years. When the dust settled, the local assembly and mayor stepped up with significant long-term support that allowed us to restore a number of teacher positions. The state appropriated limited grant money that expires in 3 years, and we're using that money for pilot programs on early literacy and pre-kindergarten development. The public is better organized, more determined, and more firmly behind you than ever before. This new level of public support and involvement brings new challenges for us as a district. As a board and a district, we have sometimes in the past bemoaned the lack of public involvement, but be careful what you wish for. Because by asking for help and receiving it, we've set up a conversation on what we do and how we do it. And that's new, and to some of us it may be uncomfortable. But here again, we're not simply accepting this new situation, this new public involvement in our schools. We're embracing it. Let me give you an example. A person that the district staff already know, but I just learned about, and some of the community members here may not know. This is Tigran Andrew. Tigran's a great name. I had to ask, and so it's a family name. It's his dad's name, but I didn't get where it came from. But Tigran, T-I-G-R-A-N, Andrew, who last year was an 8th grader at Hanshu Middle School. Last year, we were thinking of how we set new goals for our students and how they were feeling about their schools. Superintendent Graff decided to ask, and Tigran gave this initial double thumbs up in response. With his parents' permission, we asked him to come back each quarter, that's these next 3 slides, to staff meetings and give his honest appraisal of how we were doing. And you can see those results there. Now, this is just one assessment. As we advance, we will receive a mix of positive and negative reviews. You know that. We have to be open to and listen to all of them. The school board asked me to come here today to express how proud we are of the job you are doing, that we recognize we have set aggressive goals for ourselves and for our children, that we know together we can achieve those goals. And so as you begin your administrative advance, I wanted to give you the patented Tigran double thumbs up. We have an exciting year ahead. I thank you for your time today. And most importantly, I thank you for all you do for Alaska's children every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Croft. We appreciate and are thankful for you and the school board's advocacy and leadership within the district. And now it's time for the reason all of you, or many of you came some of you had to come, but many of you chose to come this morning, and that is our State of the Schools presentation starring our Superintendent, Ed Graff, and it will begin momentarily.
Let's give another round of applause to the Clark Middle School Drumline. Those guys are amazing. They're led by their new band director, Adrian Carroll, with the support of retired teacher, Miss Lynette Harple, and Principal Cecily Williams. I have to tell you guys, that's good stuff. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Cecily's often asked what high school these students attend, and she's pleased to tell them that they're middle schoolers, 6th through 8th grade students. And I have to tell you, creating Drumline was Cecily's idea. It was her vision, a way to further engage her students. And now 2 years later, students are lined up waiting to participate. They're made up of aspiring stars and students who don't even know that they're musicians. You can see what happens when you believe in students. They become engaged and the passion for learning takes over. It's contagious. Let me tell you, if I could go back 40 years, you know. That's exactly where we want our students to be. Excited about their learning in school. And that's this group. This group of students you saw here today, they spent time over the summer coming in and honing their skills. And they didn't do it with any other reason other than they love what they're doing. Lynette Harple, a retired music teacher, coming in over the summer to help while Adrian was transitioning into his new position. I'm so impressed and I'm truly honored they allowed me to be a part of that. I thank them for that opportunity. I thank all of you for joining me here today for the state of our schools, to celebrate our success and to show your support for what we do in the Anchorage School District. Board members, elected officials, staff, school business partners, and community members. This is really the first time we've brought everyone together for our school event. But it's quite fitting, as I believe the engagement of every one of you in this room is essential to our continued progress and success of our students. Today I'm going to highlight some of our successes as they relate to our strategic plan and Destination 2020, and share a few details of our plans for moving forward. So you're going to get part information, part inspiration or motivation, depending on your perspective. But I want you to be clear on one thing. I believe in our students, our community, staff, our district, and I believe in all that we are doing. We know when students are engaged, they are connected to their learning. As you just witnessed, great things happen for students when you provide them with interesting hands-on activities. We know this from our own observations and our own experiences. This can be seen in many places throughout our school district. We have more than 130 schools and programs that support our students, like King Career Center, which has offered a range of CTE classes and industry certifications to students for 40 years. KCC meets the needs of more than 2,000 students every year. And at KCC, students find their passion in a number of the trades. They're connecting with the activities they enjoy and are experiencing success. The learning these students are engaged in is current, relevant, and rigorous. This year, KCC hosted a couple of signing days honoring several of their students who were selected for apprenticeship programs with NECA IBEW, the Alaska Laborers, and direct entry for NC Machinery. These programs are quite coveted. The interview process is extensive, and the students are often competing against people who are already working in a trade. But our students did very well, and we're very proud of them. And I want to thank Principal Pondofino and staff member Julie Vincic for supporting and recognizing these students for doing such an outstanding job this year. Please give them a round of applause. With what these students have learned through the Anchorage School District and along with their hard work and perseverance, I'm confident they will continue to be successful and go far in their careers. As you all know, engagement is important for employees as well. We see the benefit when we provide our staff with engaging curriculum and experiences and intentional professional development on evidence-based practices. This summer, many of our teachers participated in curriculum camps to update academic plans in math as well as language arts, social studies, and science. The collaboration work developing out of these camps is remarkable. Teachers are creating and sharing new ideas for instruction and are eager to introduce them into their classroom. We're also continuing our response to instruction work with administrators and staff that we began 3 years ago. Ongoing professional development on RTI, as we call it, ensures we're providing the right type of high-quality instruction at the right time for each student. As we continue to study, train, implement targeted professional development across the district, I'm pleased to report this focus is paying dividends for our students. And this progress is evident in this year's preliminary data from our state assessments. Our reading, writing, and science scores are up. Many of our grades are showing the highest proficiency levels in the last 4 years. This year, we implemented a new math curriculum for our kindergarten through 8th grade students. District-wide, we saw a slight decline, but not at the level that is typical in the initial years of a new curriculum implementation. In fact, 3 grade levels showed improvement over the previous year. Overall, our math scores are still higher than they were in 2010, 2011, and we're continuing our momentum as we work toward our goal of 90% of students being academically proficient. We have excellent educators and staff in our district, and a solid curriculum that is aligned to our standards. And with improved attendance, we know we'll see greater achievement in our students. 2 years ago, 74% of our students made the attendance goal. That means more than a quarter of students missed more than 17 days of school each year. Through our collaborative efforts with the community and conversations around the importance of attendance, we are seeing improvement. This year, nearly 79% of students made our attendance goal. That's an increase of 5 percentage points. We're fortunate to have engaged business partners lending their support to show the importance of school attendance and how this translates to a valuable work ethic that will continue to benefit students throughout life. I know former SAVE student Justice understands this valuable lesson. Some of you know Justice. Admittedly, he was someone who had his struggles in school. As a senior, he realized showing up every day for class was necessary in order for him to be successful. And at the end of last year, in addition to graduating with perfect attendance, he has a set of keys to a brand new car courtesy of one of our school business partners, Troy Jarvis of Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Instilling the value of coming to school every day is important to start at a young age. We're pleased that another one of our business partners, IBEW, is supporting this effort for our elementary students. You can bet the students who were surprised with their Disneyland trips for their families will remember that for years to come. Our business partners are on board again this coming school year to recognize students with excellent attendance, and you're going to hear more about that later today. We all know just how important the partnerships are that we've built in our community. As Board President Graff mentioned, we have more than 600 school business partners, and that number is growing. Think about that, 600 partners in our community working together and forming relationships to make a positive impact on public education in our community. And those are valuable and high-quality partnerships. This ranges from grassroots parent groups to community-wide partnerships. One such partnership is with 90% by 2020. This is a team made up of 40 business, education, nonprofit, and community leaders who work together to align with ASD for a common vision for education and to make sure our students are ready, successful, and prepared for life. I'm sure you noticed their name. It hopefully sounds familiar to many of you, 90% by 2020. It's what we have in our strategic plan. One of our mutual key goals is that 90% of our students will graduate high school by the year 2020, and we're making progress. This year, our 5-year graduation rate is up to 79.8%, or roughly 80%, our highest rate to date. This is an accomplishment that cannot and should not be overlooked, and it is because of all of you, every one of you. High school graduation is one of the few connections we have common in our society. This was never more clear to me than this May, when I had the incredible opportunity to shake the hands of nearly 2,600 students, 2,600 graduates. What made this even more remarkable was the memory of welcoming dozens of these students to kindergarten when I was an elementary principal. Graduation is a celebration of learning experiences that spans at least a dozen years. And for many of our students, that journey isn't always easy. I'd like to share a story that began 24 years ago about one of our former students, April. When April was 11, she left home and ended up at Covenant House. Her challenges increased from there. By the age of 15, April had become a single mom, and attending school was now out of the question for her. But she got connected with ASD teacher specialist Barb Dexter through a child in transition outreach program for homeless students. That program has since evolved into a variety of services in Covenant House, Alaska's new facility, which includes an ASD classroom. April didn't have the stability to attend any of the ASD alternative programs, so we brought school to her. Barb helped her enroll her in correspondence courses and worked with her in the afternoons to complete coursework. With the support and encouragement and engagement of Barb and others, April persevered and continued her education. Fast forward to this May, Barb received a phone call from April, who's now 35 years old. She was calling to let her know she was graduating. However, this time, it was from medical school. April told Barb she made such a positive impact on her life that she wanted Barb to be at her graduation, along with her son Casey. She didn't think she would have made it without the support she received from Barb as an ASD teacher. So April bought Barb a plane ticket to Seattle to watch her at the University of Washington's Physicians' Hooding Ceremony. Last month, she began her residency in Memphis, Tennessee as an OB/GYN. That's such an incredible story. Thank you, Barb, for believing in our students and building those critical connections that engage learning. We have many, many stories like that in our district. And Barb's situation there, she really helped create a safe environment for April so she could be successful. We want that feeling of safety for all of our students in the support we provide. We all understand this when we talk about safety and security in terms of the facility. Structurally sound building, constructed with quality materials, routinely practicing emergency preparedness drills, and updating safety procedures. This fall, many of our schools will see notable differences as we've enhanced safety features, such as adding cameras, automatic locking doors, improved communication, and intercom capabilities. An increasing number of students are reporting that they feel safe in our schools. So are their parents. Yet more work is needed in order for us to reach our goal of everyone feeling safe. And I believe our work in social and emotional learning plays a critical role in helping us achieve this goal. And it begins with our daily interactions with others and the climate of our schools. As most of you know, ASD is a national leader in social and emotional learning. When students and adults have social emotional skills, they're self and socially aware and have the ability to manage themselves both independently and while interacting with others. They can listen to perspectives of others, use positive communication, be aware of cultural issues and differences, set and achieve goals, and take personal responsibility for their learning. Academically, students with SEL skills score an average 11 percentile points higher on standardized exams. Research shows they are socially more confident and better behaved. We want every one of our students to have these skills. As adults, we want our peers to have them also. We see more respectful, responsible, and safer schools when SEL skills are mastered. Rather than trying to find time in an already packed school day, we're integrating these SEL skills into everything we do. Earlier this year, a group of Romig Middle School students in a school business partnership class utilized technology to create a video that provokes students to reflect on the consequences of their actions and those of others. I'd like you to take a look at it. That's powerful stuff that our kids are doing. Very powerful. I want to thank Principal Sven Gustafson and teacher Miss Lucas and her students and the Romig staff for creating a positive climate in their school. This work is very important. Currently, we gauge our school climates through a survey which provides us with information on the feel of the school and a parent's recommendation. And with concerted efforts, we more than doubled our response rate from parents and have 88% of our parents pleased with their child's school. We also continue to work on our outreach to community members about the value of what our schools provide for students. This year, we held our inaugural Visit Our Schools Month. An impressive 1,607 people visited our schools last February. 1,600 people in our schools. However, that wasn't the case for all schools. Mount Eliamna Elementary had just one visitor. But Principal Denise Carpentier was not deterred. She saw this as an opportunity and used the interaction with the community member to make a positive difference at her school. I've been so impressed with the work that Denise has done at Mount I this year that I'd like to invite her to share what she and her staff are doing to change the climate of their school. Please welcome Denise to the stage.
Well, I'm very humbled and honored to be speaking before you today. I know I've got students in the Anchorage School District at multiple schools, Golden View, South, and I am just so thankful and impressed at all the work that you're doing out there. I want to talk a little bit, give a little background on our school. Mount Eliamna is a unique school that is dedicated to serving students grades K through 5 that have significant emotional and behavioral disabilities. Some of our students experience extreme other disabilities as well in terms of learning disabilities, cognitive disabilities, fetal alcohol syndrome, traumatic brain injury, and many other health complications. Our students require a more intensive and supportive environment that can typically be provided in neighborhood schools. We have a diverse population of students who range educationally from highly gifted to those students that require more life skills programming. Transitioning every one of our students to a less restrictive environment and greater independence within the broader community is really at the heart of what we do. Our mission is to provide each student with a new skill set so that they can then transition back into their neighborhood school programs and regional placements. Historically, we have functioned as a quiet, misunderstood entity of the Anchorage School District. And that's primarily due to the need for confidentiality of our students and our families, which we take very seriously. We have real challenges, we have real needs and real concerns, but you know what? We also have real successes. I'm so excited to be here this morning and have this opportunity to share what we're doing at Mount Iliamna to actively change our school climate. Open and honest conversations that are difficult but much needed are happening throughout the school and within this community regarding what we're doing for our students. And it's literally changing our climate from one of skepticism to one of positive and hope-filled. Parents are getting re-engaged with our learning community. For the first time in the history of our school, we have a very active PTA, an official PTA, that is engaged in every aspect of what we're doing at our school. The staff and the broader community are coming together for positive change in our environment. Students and staff, interesting comments, are finally proud to wear their Mount Iliamna logo. I know that may sound strange to some of you that have neighborhood schools where that's a common, but it's new at our building, and they are wearing it out in the community. They are very proud, and our students are proud to claim that they are Orca. As we reach out to our families, we realized that we needed to broaden and get more input and share the things that are going on. So we've reached out to the community. We have strong business partnerships with Home Depot, Faith Christian, our military partners on base that are highly engaged in everything that we do. We present at local church events, community functions, basically any opportunity we have to engage in those tough conversations with the misperceptions of the public, we're doing that. Parents are on board with this, and we've come together to change the learning climate in our school. We've adopted a military hero program. We have a strong military support that has been active in our school, and even more active now than ever. Our classrooms this year got together as a class and created these videos. It was a plea to these military partners of why they needed a hero in their classroom. What was great about this is the students talked about their hopes and aspirations in these videos, and also their very real challenges that they were working towards overcoming. We held a military appreciation assembly, invited families and community members, and these videos were shown, and the military partners stepped up in uniform to claim the class that they were going to be the hero to represent. It's had a huge positive impact on our school climate, and I just can't thank our military partners enough for all they're doing for us. Also, like traditional schools, we are actively fundraising, and when I say actively, I mean actively. We have clocked over 600 hours in 2 months throughout the Anchorage Bowl and the Mat-Su area. This is PTA members. These are random community members who've stopped at a raffle table and learned about our school and have sat and stayed and then signed to cover these tables. It's really not about the money that we're raising. It's about the conversations, the relationships, the real relationships that we're forming with our business partners in the community, with our parents. There is a newfound hope that I can't explain in words. You would have to see it and feel it to understand it, but it's there. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of my staff and our community and how they're all coming together. My first year at Mount I, boys, it taught me a lot. I'm going to face many challenges. I embrace that. Challenges bring change. It brings conversations, tough conversations, but without those conversations, we're not going to move forward and change those misperceptions, face our real challenges, and move forward in a positive manner for our students and our families that we serve. I believe that coming to Mount I has made a positive change in our learning environment, the growth that our whole community just coming together. My staff and I will continue to make positive changes. That's going to demand open and honest conversations about challenges that we have based on the nature of the population we serve. And how we can come together as a community to ensure that we are providing our students with the best education that they can possibly receive. With that said, we are a program that this community and the Anchorage School District can be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. We all have areas we can improve upon, and your efforts certainly demonstrate that change can be positive. This morning I've shared stories about our incredible students, our amazing staff, business and community partners, and our outstanding schools. I believe in our students and schools. I know when we engage our students and set high expectations, great things happen. Everything I've shared today builds toward achieving Destination 2020 goals: 90% academic achievement, graduation, attendance, and recommendation, 100% safety, and a national leader in operational efficiency. Yes, we have a lot of work ahead of us. I'm confident we'll get there. And I want to share a few things to look forward to in the upcoming year that will help build on our momentum. Early literacy has proven to make a positive difference in children's education. We're supplementing our successful preschool program by adding 4 preschool classrooms and expanding community partnership conversations. We're keeping our primary class sizes small and bringing on early literacy coaches. Tyson Elementary School has both a Title I coach and a building literacy coach. They've seen student test scores jump 12 to 18% in reading, writing, and math. When we provide the resources to our schools and our students, they achieve. We can improve our student achievement and make academic progress without providing appropriate support to the classroom teacher. So to develop that support, we're improving our professional development for teachers. We're adding job-embedded professional learning through instructional tours. These are like medical rounds conducted by doctors. In this case, teachers will see best practices firsthand by receiving immediate and specific feedback. We're changing our practices around teacher evaluation. They will be more student-centered, consistent, and have improved reliability between evaluators. Our professional learning department will also enhance opportunities for support staff, making sure we're moving forward with ways to support our staff members working outside the classroom, as well as our management team to ensure that we're building upon their skill set to be effective leaders. And we also know technology is ever-changing and vital in today's world, affecting not only how we operate in our daily lives, but also the way we teach. So another area we're investing is upgrading classroom technology. We're doing this by refreshing our mobile IT classroom resources. We found that technology helps engage students in the learning environments that they're most comfortable. Our students are digital natives. Smartphones, email, social media have existed as far back as they can remember. Most of our secondary students have personally owned devices in their pockets. That's why we're expanding support for the Bring Your Own Device initiative. We're leveraging these tools to allow students to collaborate in real time, research projects, keep track of classroom assignments, record journal entries, and more. And I've seen that. I've seen that in Chugiak High School. I've seen it in Golden View Middle School. I've seen it in our elementary schools. It's important that we keep up with technology. You may have also heard this week that we've signed a pledge with 60 large urban school districts across the country to support intentional efforts to improve the academic and social outcomes of the male students of color. This commitment gives us the opportunity to reflect on the practices that we have in place while helping us target the needs of these students and track their progress. Student success is also reliant on being healthy, fed, and ready to learn. Through the Federal Community Eligibility Provision, or CEP as we call it, we're improving access to meals in our highest poverty schools at no cost to families while eliminating the need for lengthy paperwork. Now, I can't tell you what it will do to the lunch lines, but we won't have the paperwork. This will immediately benefit more than 3,500 students. States piloting CEP have seen significant increases in attendance rates at elementary schools and notable increases at secondary schools. This federal program will not create additional cost to our district. Once program expenses are covered, additional revenue will go to purchase locally grown and higher quality products for all students district-wide. We're heading into our third year of implementing new standards in English, language arts, and math. This spring, the state is moving forward with a new computer-based state assessment titled Alaska Measures of Progress, or AMP. It's replacing the standards-based assessment, or SBA. With these new standards and new assessments, we'll establish a new baseline. Next year's scores will not be comparable to this year. We know that. We know the efforts required of this new online assessment will be significant, and we've been doing our best to support our students and staff as we transition to AMP. In addition to the logistical and implementation challenges, we'll be faced with the challenge of communicating different results. This is something you'll hear more about in the coming months. We have a lot happening this year, and everything we're doing is aligned to Destination 2020, our strategic plan and its areas of focus. We're just a few years away from 2020, and that time will go quickly. As many of you know, 2015 marks the centennial of our city and the public school system in Anchorage. 100 years. Well, I can say with great certainty, I won't be around in another 100 years. I don't have time to wait for those 100 years. But I do believe we have the ability to shape what our city and future will look like through your actions, our actions, and the engagement in what we do today. While we continue to examine our challenges, build on our successes, and move forward, we must always keep our students at the heart of what we do. Always. They're achieving great things. I believe in them at every level, whether they're right on track, in need of additional support, or excelling. I recently completed my first full year as superintendent, and one of the most memorable experiences was following Tigran through the year. And you heard Mr. Graff reference him this morning. The other day I got a thank you letter from Tigran. In it he said it was an honor that he would remember for the rest of his life. I know he hasn't forgotten it because I was at Begich Middle School this summer to see our Project K program that's going on over there. And guess who was working as an intern at Begich Middle School? Tigran. And so I saw him in the multipurpose room, and I walked in there, and one of the adults said, "Oh, let me introduce you to someone." I said, "You don't need to introduce me to him. I already know who this fine young gentleman is." And he looked at me, only the way Tigran can look at you, in front of a lot of people, and gave me his blank stare. I said, "It's nice to see you, Tigran." I'm so proud of the work that's being done in our district every day, and I'm encouraged by the commitment all of you here today have to each one of our students and our mission. I sincerely thank you for that. As we start the new school year, I encourage each of us to keep our focus on our students, every one of our students, including our new ones. Come on in here, guys. I want to introduce some people to you. Give them a nice round of applause. These children here are entering kindergarten this August. They are the class of 2027. We cannot wait to welcome them into kindergarten, along with 48,000 other students next month. We're so excited to have them here. And they're excited to tell you where they're going to be going to school. So if you could tell me your name and where you're going to go to school.
I'm Janet Darden.
And where are you going to be going to school?
Monday.
Monday. Okay. That's not what I have. He's going to school Monday in kindergarten. Tell us your name and where you're going to school.
Auburn.
Auburn. And where are you going to school?
Bayshore.
Nice. Tell us your name and where you're going.
Carson.
Where are you going to go to school, Carson?
Aquarium.
Aquarian. How about you?
Honor.
Where are you going to school? What's your name?
Honor.
Anna. And where are you going to school?
The Northern Lights ABC.
Northern Lights ABC. How about you?
Isabella.
Isabella. And where are you going to school?
Turnican.
Nice. How about you?
Brooke.
Brooke, where are you going to school?
Spring Hill.
Spring Hill. We have a new lottery system. I get a pick? No. Serena, where are you going to school?
I'm going to school to Lakewood.
Lakewood. Nice job. Where are you going to school? Tell us your name.
Uriah.
Uriah, where are you going to school?
Lakewood Elementary.
Nice job. Tell us your name.
Kirsten.
Keston, where are you going to school?
Tarnigan.
Turn again. Together, what we'd like to do is leave you with one important message that I hope you will carry through each day this school year and the years to come. All right, guys, this is the big test. Can you hold up those signs in front of you there? Hold them up nice and high. Come on. Everyone get a sign. Hold it up. Pick up your sign. Hold them up. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2027, keep an eye out for these rising stars. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for coming out here today. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Come on, guys.